The COVID-19 situation that is increasingly worrying levels in the Nyanza and Western counties. Well, let's take a look at the numbers for today first. Tonight, 714 more positive COVID-19 cases were recorded. Well, this is out of a sample size of 6,039, putting our positivity rate at 11.8%. Now, in terms of new recoveries, 285 people got a clean bill of health. Unfortunately, 10 people succumbed to the disease on diverse dates within the last month. Now, this brought the death toll to over 3,000, and the national tally of positive cases is now at 178,792, while total recoveries are above 122,000. But I talked about this earlier, the growing concern over the rise in cases in Western counties. Tonight, Kakamega, Kisii, and Migori are ahead of Nairobi in terms of county caseloads. Kisumu, Busia, and Siaya also registering high numbers. But this is where you need to pay attention. In the 6 of the last 7 days, Nairobi has led in cases, with Siaya topping the county caseload 2 days ago on the 17th. Kisumu, Siaya, and Busia have featured prominently in the top 5 counties for the last week. Now, in the last 7 days, Kakamega has not been anywhere near the top 5 counties registering high COVID numbers. In fact, yesterday, Kakamega wasn't even in the top 10 in county tallies. And so, of course, this surge and, of course, its climb to the top of the county tally is extremely concerning. Now, counties in the Nyanza and Western region continue to bear a heavy COVID-19 caseload, with Kakamega recording the highest number of cases in the last 24 hours, as we saw earlier. But despite the surge in numbers and the high death toll recorded, Kenyans in some of the most infected counties continued to drop their guard. Politicians continue to hold political gatherings. Well, Dorcas Wangira with more.
In West Pokot County, hundreds milled around in a UDA party function whose chief guest was the Deputy President William Ruto. Most of the people here had no masks, and social distancing was hardly observed. West Pokot may not have been included in the 13 counties in which new containment measures have been imposed, but it borders Trans Nzoia and has cumulatively recorded 1,518 COVID-19 cases. And a super spreading event like this is likely to increase new infections if anyone here is infected. In Homa Bay County, which has recorded 1,110 positive cases cumulatively, the new measures were not strictly adhered to, particularly in the open-air markets where it was business as usual, in spite of repeated calls to caution.
We are a rural county. Rural counties depend on one another. I'm depending on Kisii, Kisii is depending on me. We must balance between the livelihoods and the life.
In Kisii, which has a large following of Adventist faithful who worship on Saturday, most churches remained shut. Church members opted to stream services online. For instance, the Gospel Embassy within Kisii town streamed a virtual service as members followed online via YouTube and Facebook.
We may not agree 100% on the measures, but all we need to do as a church and with the government is to agree on the ways possible, on what we can do to ensure that our citizens are safe.
Last week, all churches were shut down in Birongo after the Ministry of Health raised the alarm on surging cases of COVID-19. The county has recorded 1,906 cases cumulatively.
Ilibidi lazima tutii ili tufanye vile ambavyo serikali imesema.
The government does not care about the surge, lakini mnakimbia tu kwa kanisa, and I'm telling you, the answer to the coronavirus is with God and not with government.
In Kisumu, which has recorded 5,545 positive cases, 6th highest nationally, the Kisumu Deputy County Commander had a sitting with business operators and residents, sensitizing them on observing the containment measures. In spite of the economic strain the regulations are bound to have as an effect.
Human beings would like to be watched or supervised most of the time, and they have put a task, they have tasked some of their members to be the watchdog or their prefects to ensure that the same is observed to the letter.
Sasa tunataka vile watu wakwa imara, serikali pia kwa imara na sisi tuangoje pia maisha yetu na maisha ya customer.
In Kakamega, police enforced the new regulations past dusk, residents having to rush home to beat the 7 p.m. curfew. The county has recorded 1,964 positive cases. Likewise, in Busia, residents adhere to the new regulations, but still called on the government to provide cushioning for those who will lose their income. In the last 24 hours, 714 positive cases have been recorded. From a sample size of 6,039, the test positivity rate is 11.8%. 10 deaths have been recorded, bringing the fatalities to 3,447. And even though the 13 counties have in the past 2 weeks recorded an increase in caseload of new infections, the counties with the highest number of infections cumulatively are Nairobi with 76,510 cases, Mombasa 12,354, Kiambu 10,800, Nakuru 8,789, and Uasin Gishu 5,859. Dorcas Wangira, Citizen TV, Nairobi.